Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about what I believe is the most fundamental question in design. The question that defines whether or not we have a role in the future of the world, and the question that keep us divided as designers. And it's a question that has to do a lot with how we perceive ourselves and how we project ourselves into the design practice. And that question is design science or is design art? And I wanted to talk about these, but first I wanted to give you the answer right away because the answer it's gonna sound very lukewarm, but it's this is the correct answer. It's a mix of both. And defining in what proportion it's where you need to get good at. But just kind of like assuming that it's 100% science or 100% art, it's not gonna make you a good designer. I can categorically say that great designers are those who live in this beautiful balance between science and art. And I will explain you why I think that's the case, right? So the first thing that I'm gonna say is when I got into design, and this is my personal experience, when I got into design, I went and I took the route of engineering or heavy engineering. So why did I do that? Because I studied business, because I had a background in finance, because I had a background in marketing, because I understood businesses as procedures and as things that can be systematically built to create revenues. So I had that mentality of design can be systematized, design can be used as a lever of a business. So that's how I approached it. And that's why I did my master's in entertainment technology and human computer interaction. And that's why I essentially took the route of saying, let me learn this as a science first before I even learn it as an art. And truth be told, I didn't even have an idea of how to learn it as an art. Perhaps I didn't even have an inclination to learn it as an art. So what I quickly realized when I got my first job is that all this world that was painted in the theory as like a hard fact, hard data, instrumented environment was a complete fallacy. Like in reality, organizations don't operate this way. Data is less accessible, data is less easy to interpret than people think. And the media kind of like paints this narrative that like tech organizations can just press a button and know anything about you or know anything about a space or know anything about a problem. And the reality is that's not the case. Design in particular, it's a good example of this because when you are a designer in an organization, you're told to go and fix problems that like have no context, have no surface whatsoever. And it's up to you to go and build the context and build the surface. So what I quickly realized was like, oh, okay, like if hard data is not available, if hard facts are not available, then I need to go and build those hard facts and that hard data, right? But it also happens to be that the speed of the business not always allows you to go in such a scientific way. It doesn't allow you to progress like in a scientific incremental way. Sometimes you just gotta use your intuition, and sometimes what that means is that you gotta intuitively interpret the existing data, sometimes intuitively interpret existing anecdotes, and also use your archetypal definitions of the world, whatever is the world that you live in as a designer in your organization. And then you marry all those things and create conclusions and create visions and paint the path forward. So what that means is that at the end of the day, you need to start taking an artistic inclination towards your work. You need to start thinking about your work in a more intuitive way. You need to start thinking about your work as something that it's not always going to be grounded in facts because facts are not always available. So you're going to need to trust your subconscious, your ability to interpret the world, to relate to the world. And you're going to need to just use that ability and perhaps a little bit of self-expression to untangle these problems and create the right solutions. So the way that I always have thought about this is mostly I'm here and basically I'm moving between science and art. And I'm doing this in a very constant way, in a very kind of like cyclical way. to a point that it really feels like a cycle, to a point in which I'm smoothly moving between engineering and art, moving between facts and intuition. And that's what I believe design is. And that's what I believe great designers do. And that's why I put Da Vinci here, because to me, Da Vinci is the soul of this way of thinking. Is the idea of marrying science and art. Is the idea of looking very deep inside you, trying to summon your most intuitive conclusions about the world and trying to marry those with the existing facts and the procedural nature of science. And I just wanted to leave you with that and hopefully inspire you to read more about Da Vinci, because I think he's like the OG designer. If you're a designer who is battling with this question, go and read Da Vinci, go and study Da Vinci, because I'm pretty sure that once you understand his philosophy, you're going to be able to understand what I just talked about. All right, guys, I guess I'll see you later. Bye.